sizowaka nisibona silapha thina sizowaka thina nisibona silapha sizowaka nisibona silapha thina sizowaka thina nisibona silapha sizowaka nisibona silapha thina sizowaka nisibona silapha thina sizowaka.
Hello, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, time for some robot sculpting. Today is not a class, a pleasant surprise. Today is a homework session. We got a lot of work to catch up on before we can move on to the next step. So, will I be checking Discord or no? Probably not, because I don't know. I think it's just better to do that during the actual scheduled classes. So people, there might be people that aren't showing up today, for the homework session. I don't think so. I think it'd be best to wait. But if you specifically need feedback or have a question, I can do that. I can answer that. If you have any questions or thoughts or ideas or things you want to go over. Let's see here. Let me just pull up some reference, and we're going to get to work.
Hail, noble ally. Please accept these treasures as a gift for your unwavering service to the kingdom.
We can do that. Mr. Clayton, thank you so much, man, for the above and beyond support, my friend. Excuse me. Hey, what's up, Watermelon? We got Magic Mushroom, Tree of Life, and Patas de Rana for you to choose from. Let's see. Just finding some good reference up here. Patas de Rana. Tree of Life sounds promising. Okay. One moment. One moment, please. Please hold while I process your request. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Hold on. What's going on there? Oh, I think it's one click down. There we go. Hey, hello, Carlos. Okay. Tree of Life Essence. Let's see what we got for you there, Clayton. You are not failing. You're just in the part of the tale where steel meets flame. There you go. It's not failing. It's just steel and flame. Get hammered. Got it. All right, let's see here. Mr. Robot. Specifically his pack. I said for homework on the pack was to do the trim, the top, and the bottom, right? Did I mention the tanks on the side being done in a separate lesson? I probably should do those and show how to do them. Tanks are next. Okay, all right. So it's just finishing this part. And then next lesson is the chimney and the tanks and everything else. Got it. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna do the. Are you ready? Are you ready, La Vida Lux? It's that step you've been wanting to see. Oh, it's raining outside. Entered like a monsoon season here. Okay. Lesson in patience. Weren't patient enough, I see. Yes. Let's do a little bit thinner. Yeah, that's pretty good. That'll do. Oh. Okay. So. Let's see. Maybe about this thick. Okay, now we're going to use this strip here. Okay, now clay glue. Right. Grab our strip. You either do it this way or you can put a bigger piece and then have to try to cut on the same line. What's the name of the song? Endless Versions. I think so. All right, I think I'm gonna add a little material across this corner to kind of exaggerate that corner a little bit. And now we blend it in. Establish the planes. Could even make this look like a weld if we wanted it to be really rough looking, but I'm not going to. I think we probably need to add more material. Would you mind describing the equipment you use for your stream? Yeah, I use 3 webcams. Got the face cam, the desk cam. Those two are they're made by AverMedia. They're okay. I mean, I wouldn't recommend those to anybody. They can be finicky, but they work great when they work. And they don't have they have a locked focus. It's not a adjustable focus. So they're really only great for like face and, like face cam situations. Anyways, so those 2 webcams, and then this one I would recommend, but you can only use one of them, and it is the Razer Kaio Pro Ultra web camera. It just their software doesn't support multiple ones of these, but they're really good. So, and then the camera is mounted into a harmonica holder that's been altered a little bit, and that's pretty much it. Just a bunch of lights, bunch of different kinds of lights. And then I use OBS Studio as on the software side. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry about the microphone. Is just my headset. Yeah. I use the. This is the best headset microphone I've ever used or even heard, to be honest. It's a the Logitech Astro A50X headset. Great sound too, comfortable, but fairly simple setup. Okay, nice. Is it finished or is it just a layer being done? Hey, thanks, local. Well, I thank you for the kind words, friend. Get to work. The robots aren't gonna build themselves, Clayton. Soon. The soon bot. Air pocket. Gonna have to re-clean up these lines at the end. Exclamation point playlist. My wife is the curator of these wonderful playlists. The curator. Hey, Streamlab. How you doing, my friend? All is well over here. Got nice stormy weather outside. Perfect for sitting inside and sculpting. Hot, partially cloudy weather. That's what we had yesterday. Oh yeah, I bet. It's those times when I remember I prefer having winter over having summers like that. Some people move to those areas to escape winter, but I'd rather sit inside next to a cozy fire sculpting in the winter than to melt in the summer. I definitely am a winter dweller. Yeah, you gotta take the good with the bad, I suppose. That's looking pretty good, dare I say. I'm only fine when I'm not. Oh, I see. The trick is to find joy in the hard times, not letting your mental level of happiness rely on outside situations that you can't control. once you can figure that out, everything's good. Then everything's good. I'll do some larger bolts here. I mean, when we think about that, the grass is always greener on the other side. Who's the problem in that situation? Maybe the person on the other side's taking better care of their grass. Maybe your grass is not green because of you, not because of the grass or the side. You have destroyed your grass, and now you want to destroy someone else's grass. Consuming, not creating. I blame the moles. Yeah. I've done a lot of diorama-esque work. Usually my finished works have bases that are very much like dioramas. But I've done some full-size, like I did a whole Hobbit scene a long time ago. That was very diorama building intensive. Or the Bachmara piece. Yeah, I like static grass. It's a really nice effect, but when we're dealing with like long-term sculptures that will be on display long-term, I'm not happy with the shelf life of something that has static grass on it. Static grass won't hold up unless it's in a dust-proof chamber. It's I don't know. It won't hold up long term. It'll eventually have to be redone. Okay, you know what? Let's texture this section here, and then we're gonna zap it with the heat gun and then do another layer. Yeah, whatever has static grass you definitely want to put in a display case. It does hold up. But like, you're talking like years of dusting will cause the static grass to start to come off. Yeah, so there's a substance called Sculpt a Mold. You want to look into that. That's about all you'll need. It's a good foundation, at least. And you can either buy it or make it. It is a little bit pricey to buy it sometimes, but there's ways to do homemade mixtures. Essentially, it's paper pulp mixed with plaster. Sculpt a mold. Yep, sculpt a mold. That's the stuff. It's a way to create the dirt, essentially the natural formation of the base. Yeah. And now one thing I'd never seen anyone else do, and something I came up with that works really well, is you actually mix paint in with it. Don't just leave it white. It saves you a big headache on the painting step. Because if you leave it pure white, then you have to really get all the nooks and crannies covered with paint, otherwise you have white kind of glaring through. So I usually mix in black, either black and orange to make it a brown color, or just black to make it a gray color. You could also just mix in powdered pigments. Doesn't have to be paint. And then using like insulation foam. Usually use insulation foam for like the bulking of the base. There's a lot of cool things you can do with the pink foam or insulation foam. And you can usually get good quantities of it for a good price as well. And you can buy a whole sheet of it and it'll last you a really long time. Now, I find buying different thicknesses of foam comes in handy. Yeah, sure. see what else is there. Oh, here's a good tip. If you're doing like a scene that has a lot of plant life and foliage. No, I actually don't really use a hot wire cutter because I don't want to deal with the fumes. You know what I get? Here, I'll show you. And these are really cheap. Just get these multi packs of these knives, and I just use these. Once it starts to get difficult to cut, you just kind of switch. You can hang on to the duller ones for other things, but just nice fresh one. You get a pack of these for like a couple bucks, and you get like a bunch of them, enough to do a whole project. You can see I got a bunch of those guys just hanging around here, ready to go. So I'll use those and just use cutting. I see why people like the hot wire. I just don't want to deal with the fumes because you're literally melting foam right in front of your face. So figure why not just cut it with a knife. What else? What else would there be for you? Oh, so what I was talking about with foliage is a good source for, because like whenever you look at any scene in nature, like forest floors and stuff, you'll notice there's just an extreme amount of variety. That's what makes it look good. So to simulate this variety in a way that doesn't take you a million hours to do or a bunch of money is, if you have, I don't know if you guys have thrift stores, but you can go to thrift stores and you'll see the house plants, the fake house plants that people decorate in their house. Usually you'll find some that has smaller bit. Let me show you what a smaller bit would be. Something like this here. Something like this. You'll see pieces that are like floral arrangements that people decorated, and you'll get it for a couple bucks just to get the piece that has the smaller bits, and then you can take, little individual pieces like that, and boom, you have a whole different little plant, so. And then you get enough variety going, and you'll have a very convincing looking. And usually this stuff is made out of plastic, and you can take this and you could alter it and paint it, clean it up, but that at least gives you a good foundation, to build from. That's not going to take you a lot of time and not going to cost you a lot of money. So. What's crazy is if you ever go to the store to buy that stuff brand new, like fake plants, it's insanely expensive. But, you go to the thrift store and you can buy it pre-owned and get it for real cheap, a couple bucks. Once you start viewing the world as either sculpting material or sculpting tools, you start to find value in things that people don't find value in. So therefore, you're usually able to get the things that you want or what nobody else wants. And they're usually pretty cheap. So, yeah, thrift stores are bigger here. I know it's not like a common thing in other countries. But either way, that's the line of thinking. Try to find fake plants using stuff that's already made and manufactured to get pieces from to put together your assembly. becomes a very fun thing to do. And you can custom make some parts, like if let's say your scene has mushrooms or something, you know, you can make, you know, you make your little mushrooms out of clay. And yeah, let's see here. Let's see how quickly I can whip up a little mushroom. You know, you make them out of clay, bake them, and then paint them, and then insert them into the scene. But anytime you're making, like, say you're making like a mushroom for your diorama, always make the stem really long, because what you'll end up doing what you end up doing is you'll do your sculpt to mold step and make the dirt. Imagine like when you're building the diorama, you're building it how it actually exists from the ground up, from the deepest layer to the highest layer in nature. So first layer is the dirt. You know, structure, then dirt, which is the sculpt to mold. Once that's hardened, then you can do like rocks and pebbles and sand and stuff like that, gluing that on. Then you do like deadfall. So like, you know, something that looks like dead plant life or dead leaves, where the plants are going to be, you're going to do like dead looking color material. Glue that on, let it dry. And then you start adding in your plants, and you're just going to drill right into with the little drill bit, you drill into the sculpt to mold, and then you glue those little plant arrangements in there, and there you go. So you're kind of building out, you know, from the deepest to the deepest layer to the most shallow. There's something called Spanish moss, which is actually really good to combine with the sculpt to mold to make like what looks like tree roots. Okay, we're going to add some scratches and dents here. Ally Express. I think I got my light bulbs from there. It was the only place I could find white colored diode light. Yeah. You know, one thing I've been wanting to do more of is kind of creating and gathering my own material for deadfall and leaf litter and stuff like that is always something very difficult to simulate. And I've been wanting to create my own mix for that. Yeah. I've always wanted to do that. I could honestly see if I had the right client that wanted to, like, let's say you had a D&D room or some sort of room that you wanted to decorate and make a medieval fantasy themed, that me and my wife could offer like a home decorating service and do a whole room. I mean, we've done it here in the whole workshop, so I'd totally be up for that. Could even, using the sculpting abilities to create custom elements, and how about a whole living room? That would be so cool. Yeah, I would. I would totally do it. I think there would be a lot of people interested in that kind of a aesthetic. So. $200K later, yeah. But it'd be cool. Hey, people have spent more on less, that's for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to begin to figure out a price for something like that. It'd probably be one of those things where it would be budget based. We'd have to figure out what the budget of the customer is, and then adjust our approach to fit the budget. More budget would be more customized pieces in the build. Less budget would be more of like, kind of like just using wood and staining the wood and stuff like that. So 3-headed dragon holding the 80-inch TV. Exactly. Or like, customized light switch covers or, stuff like that. Let's just say, a lesser budget light switch cover would be just a wooden one that's you beat up with the chain and then stain it, A nicer one, higher budget would be something that's, like custom sculpted. So, because there's ways to create the look that doesn't take a long time. So it'd be about applying the resources, strategically, the time resource, putting the detail in the important places. And then for the things that I couldn't do, we would outsource, like maybe a particular piece of furniture or something. I always think about that Wormwood company with those rustic looking tables. Dragons, every living room needs dragons. Yeah, it would be cool to get into that. I always wonder what it takes for, there's people that get into that kind of work, what it takes for them to do that. And I think the answer is to start with your own place and use it as a demo or portfolio of what's possible to try to attract, somebody who's like a potential, customer that wants to have that kind of work done. What, this room? This room is about 10 by 12 feet. I think is the dimensions. The workshop. Two by two? Did I say 2 by? Oh, probably the place that you guys see. This area is about 2 by 2. The desk, maybe like 3 by 2. I live under the stairs. You're a hairy wizard. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's do that bracket on the other side here. Thank you very much. All right, somebody get the AI to work. We need Elvis Presley stars as Harry Potter. Asio blue suede shoes. Just in case anyone's not aware, this piece is not commissioned. It's for a class, this robot piece, and is available if anyone wants to give him a home. He's going to have LED lights coming out of his eye. I'm thinking like a spotlight with maybe a little red blinking light there, or solid. And then he'll have a fire effect, like a furnace fire coming out of here. And he's an explorer robot. He'll be holding a ream of rope here and kind of twirling a grappling hook while kind of scaling or climbing up a mountain. Backpack will have like some sort of a interface screen and then tanks on the sides and a smokestack with some smoke effect coming out the top. So I usually give I give good prices for works that are not commissioned, that are just original. So send me an email if you're interested. I'll show you the sketch. Kind of shows off the overall concept a little bit better. Here's the sketch we made for the design. So the hand kind of fell off, but you get the idea. Twirling a grappling hook, maybe some sticks and bundles of stuff attached to his pack. The sketch bot. A brave explorer of new lands. Yeah, no, shipping's no problem. I think I have shipped to Portugal before. I've shipped most places at this point. It's not a lot. I mean, there's a lot places I haven't shipped to, but yeah, international shipping's no problem. Hey, what's up, V? Hello, hello. Constitute a little bit of scratches on these brackets. All right, let's see here. I'm thinking we'll zap it with the heat gun here. No, you can ask. Hey, that's no problem here. I like questions. Have you worked with any kind of 3D printed material, or do you always sculpt from zero? No, I don't. And there's nothing. I have nothing against 3D printing at all. I probably would use it if I just kind of came to the decision that I'm not going to use it because of the fact that my kind of what I'm doing here on the internet with the stream and showing a traditional approach. I want to keep that as baseline as possible, that you can just get some clay and some tools and do what I do kind of thing. If you get too kind of gadgety with it, it's gonna, it's people will see that and be like, well, I can't do that because I don't have all those gadgets, nor do I have the means to do it, So I don't know. I just feel compelled to keep it traditional, to preserve the traditional way of doing things. But yeah, without that, I would totally use 3D printing. I have been tempted, though. Okay, I have been tempted to do some 3D printing, but for like internal parts, like engineering, like a battery compartment or something like that. To do that 3D with a 3D printer. But I'm not sure. I also think trying to do it traditionally is I don't know, it's a good way to show that you can do things without needing gadgets, that these hands can do everything. You just gotta figure it out. But let me go get some coffee. I'll be right back. catch up here. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're not interested in sculpting and you're more interested in like painting, then yeah, you know, 3D printing I think is a great option to produce the models that you want to paint, you know. Otherwise you're outsourcing to somebody else, you know. Mm-hmm. I do have classes, that's right. It's a matter of interest. If you are interested in sculpture and doing the act of sculpting something, then I'd say pursue it. Because that's the temptation, you know, I could spend a bunch of hours pursuing this craft here, or I can just buy a 3D printer and, you know, there we go. It is not magic, it is a learnable skill. Yep, definitely is. Really? Wait, he said if your drawings are crap, your 3D models will just be chrome crap. Okay. You feel the temptation, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's because there's this wall between, okay, we all have this like thing at the beginning where it's like you have this amazing idea of what you want to make, what you want to sculpt. And then you go to execute it and it totally misses the mark and is not what you were thinking. Like your idea was way better than your output. And it's that struggle that is what causes us to continue to push to try to get to the point where my idea matches my output, the physical piece, you know. Or even better, the physical piece is even better than my idea, the output. And that just comes, you know, with the experience, you know. Yeah. Yeah, check out the class. So there's a robot as part of a class we usually do on Sundays. Today I'm just playing catch up with homework so I can do the next lesson. But the idea is you follow along step by step as best you can, and you will at least, I think at the bare minimum, you'll actually learn what it takes to make a sculpture. And then you can take that and run with it, kind of thing, you know. Just the basic fundamentals of building an armature, bulking it out, adding the clay, layering the details, in the way that I do it. Because also there's the reality that this is just my way of doing things, and that there's all kinds of sculptors out there and artists that are doing things differently, and you can absorb as much as you can from me, and then you can absorb some from somebody else, and then your own ideas in the mix, and that's what ends up becoming kind of your own style. So I of course think the way that I do things is the way to do things, but that's because that's why I'm doing them that way. You know, if I thought there was another better way to do it, I would do it that way too. But there's things out there I'm sure I haven't discovered yet. Different ways of doing things. I've always thought, you know, that if I can get to a point where I got some extra money laying around to take courses from other sculptors, just to see their, because I'm sure there's little things that they do, or little ways of doing things that they've. It's like everybody discovers a different piece of the puzzle, you know, that I would totally absorb. The joy of extruding. Now that one I know about. I'm just being stubborn. Although by not having an extruder, I've honed my skill of being able to roll out clay evenly and consistently. So there's that. It's a saying. Perhaps everyone needs to have an era of not using the proper tools to hone those other skills, and then you can get the tool after you've honed the skill. Or maybe that's my human brain justifying my human stubbornness. I don't know. Could be either or. I require justification. I had an era. I already had my non-pasta machine era. Already did that. Okay, I'm gonna use the heat gun, and I'm gonna lock in this layer so we can do more layers on top without messing it up. Okay, that should be good enough. I should stop using the heat gun in an oven and have to I should have to make fire with sticks and bake my sculpture. Slow roast it over the handmade fire. Whilst chopping the wood with the side of my hand. Everything completely from scratch. A purist. A no tools purist. I still think I should grow my fingernails out at some point and then like file the fingernails individually into different tools. You know, like so it mimics the ends of all these different tools. Then I don't need to use tools anymore. I could just use these sculpted fingernail tips. Then okay, now we're gonna detail this and done. Not weird at all. Hey, I'm not worried about not being weird. That's for sure. Once you step over that line, true freedom. I live outside the box for sure. See that weird? we need a see not weird emote. Production plus 9,000. Hey, thanks, Streamlab. Thank you for the kind words, my friend. Glad to have you on board. Use press-on nails that can be replaced. Oh yeah, good idea. Just straight up a tool. I'll just saw this off right here, and then like just epoxy it right onto my nail, just like that. You know, just this one right here. Becoming the Edward Scissorhands. This one can be my pinky. All right, let me shake your hand. Wait a minute. Bob Ross kept his pinky nail long to be able to take brush hairs off the canvas. Really? Are we sure about that? It seems like it could be a potential excuse for something else. There's something else, some other long pinky nail thing. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. Something else that people use a long pinky nail for. CNOT scissor hands, yeah. I mean, he does sculpt stuff. Edward Scissorhands. All right, let's get back on task here. Let's do, before we do this top part, let's do the bottom here. So let's start it off the same way with the pasta machine. Hey, you're the only one that brought that up. It wasn't me. I thought it was like, like some gardening thing or something. Mr. Steve. Sheesh, get your mind out of dark places. Step into the light, Mr. Steve. You have embraced darkness for too long. Okay, let's see. Let's cut this here. Cut a strip. There we go. And we're just going to do the same procedure on the bottom here. Hey, Mom and Pop. Good day to you. Hey, Looper. We got Mom and Pop photo shooted up this weekend. Photos and videos are done. They just need to be edited. We'll be able to get you in the mail soon here. I bought packaging materials, so probably Monday. I'm excited for you to see it in person. Really happy with how that one turned out. I think I'll leave the bottom pretty plain because I think we'll do some accessorizing going on here. I like the bundles of sticks there, or some sort of a non-mechanical object collected there. So we'll just make some basic paneling on the bottom. Let's cut another strip here. Clayton calculated the date for that, potentially. Didn't you, Clayton? Yeah, it depends. Let's see. So, let me look at the calendar really quick here. It was mid-September, then you missed last week. Let's see. So, let's see. Next week is the finishing of the backpack. Okay. Then the 24th is organic accessorizing. So, the stick bundle, the cloak, any sort of features like that. Then the 31st would be possibly lights on the 31st. Lights. Then September 7th would be basing. And then the 14th would be painting.
Hail, noble ally. Please accept these treasures as a gift for your unwavering service to the kingdom.
Hey, Zester Gesture, how you doing, my friend? 134 months, holy cannoli. How you doing this fine Sunday there, Zester Gesture? Thank you for sticking with me for so very, very long. I am coming to Europe, yeah. I'll be on Europe time over there. Good. Very good. Thank you so much, man, for sticking with me for a long time. Thank you. They usually take a break between classes. Yeah, you're right. Usually at least a week to kind of finish things off. I'm just wondering, though, if this paint job might not take as long because I find metal stuff to not be as hard to do. So almost 12 years. That's crazy. So that's a good, pretty much the majority of my streaming and art career there, Zester Jester. Thank you so much, man. Through thick and thin, my friend. Magic mushroom for you.
Listen closely, traveler, to what I say. Twitch Prime does not even cost a dime.
Twitch Prime does not even cost a dime. North of normal. Thank you so much. Welcome. Welcome to the cnotbusch Kingdom. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your support. A crown weighs most on the head that fears losing it. Oh, wow. I like that. A crown weighs most on the head that fears losing it. Study stream, yeah. Hey, thanks for joining us. We have been told this is a great working and lurking environment. Or gaming and lurking, whatever. That is a good one. Heavy is the crown. Okay, so I was looking at the schedule. So that puts us at a finished class date at the 14th. let's say this,
Good day, dear friend. Your contribution to the growth of our kingdom is invaluable. Thank you for your devotion.
what are you laughing at, Clayton? Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. Landed Mermaid. Thank you very much for the 20 months. Wait, is it Landed Mermaid? Is that one yours, Clayton? Can't remember. Thank you very much, Landed Mermaid. Let's see here. Patas de Rana. Okay, yeah, that one is. Okay. Let's see. Some days, courage means showing up, even when you'd rather hide. That's right. Just showing up. That's a good one. Lots of good ones. Thank you. Thank you for you and your husband's support. Very happy to have you. Alright, schedule. Let's see here. Schedule. Okay, back to the 14th. Okay, so if there's a week off after, then if we started the 28th, yeah, might be best to, maybe it would be best to do that class after we get back, so there's not a big chunk of time in between, because that'd be only 2 weeks before we're leaving to Germany. Yeah, so it won't be till after we get back, the next class. Yeah, that's probably wiser. Otherwise, we only have like 2 or 3 sessions, and then it's a month off. So like middle of November will be the next class. Well, I'll be there from the middle of October till the middle of November. I will be streaming, but I'll be streaming on a different times while I'm there. So for those of you that can't catch those different times, you have to just check the past broadcast to get your fix while I'm gone. 84 years. We have a workshop number 2 over there that we've been working on each year that we've gone. The setup gets better and better each year. Lederhosen. Nah, we're not doing that. I'm not there for the cliche, the touristy Germany experience. Just there to spend time with family. The authentic countryside of Germany. Definitely not. I've never been one of those people to like go somewhere and drink beer. I'm drinking beer. I'm staying put wherever it starts. That's where I'm staying, unless it's like 1 or 2 at a restaurant or something. I joked that at a German guy on Facebook. He raged because it's so like cliche, the like classic like Oktoberfest, pretzels and sauerkraut understanding of German culture that people that aren't from Germany No bar crawling. No, never done that. I've never been into that stuff. My parents are like that. They like doing stuff like that. I've never been one to do that. No, thank you. I stay home. I like to YouTube crawl. My wife is German. She's from Germany. I am German too, but genetic German, not from there. My genetics consist of a high percentage of German and Native American. I'm a Native American German, genetically. Gave up quickly. Yeah, I'm like 25% Cherokee. My grandmother, my biological grandma, was pretty much 100% Cherokee. From my biological father's side. You really see it in my aunts, my biological aunts. Yeah, I recently reconnected with my biological father's side of the family. And I'm going to be meeting them for the first time coming up soon here. It is pretty exciting. Oh, interesting. Portugal. Was the cultural melting pot? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting to look into the history of how your family came to be. A lot of Germans that moved to America moved over to Wisconsin. So that's where the German side comes from, because that's where my family from my biological father's side they're all in Wisconsin. And it makes sense because the climate of Wisconsin, or the Midwest, is very similar to the climate in Germany. So it makes sense if you were moving to a strange, distant land, you would pick a place to settle that's similar to the climate that you came from. It just makes sense to me, especially if you're gardening and farming and all that stuff. That's what I would do. Mr. Arbitwanum. You want the robot, Arby? This does look like an Arby robot, actually. Yeah, he does. Look at him. He has your beautiful smile. And my left armpit access plate. Yeah, see? If you want the robot, Arby, just, you know where to get a hold of me. How many troll heads we doing today? Fridays, Arby. 0. We're doing 0 today. So we did offer an option to the first round of troll heads to have them painted for 25 extra. We're going to see how that goes. So there'll be a painted troll head option or unpainted. 3 yes, 1 no. That's right. Yeah. I think the 1 no wants to use their troll head for something, like a part of a project or something. So that'll be interesting. I think that was, yeah. So the way we're going to do it is the missus will paint the troll heads from this Friday, next Friday. So there'll be a week kind of delay on the painting. She'll slot the time for that. No takesy backsies. It's in the agreement written just like that too. No takesy backsies. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't done any. I never did one of those genetic things. Yeah, exactly. Some things are just left best unknown. King Arthur. You ever heard the theory that the King Arthur story was actually propaganda by Genghis Khan? The Genghis Khan fulfills all the kind of main points that King Arthur had. The story of King Arthur, and he created this story and kind of propagated it into the area he wanted to take over, so that when he would arrive, they would like welcome him with open arms, kind of thing. It's actually pretty interesting. There's some really compelling points there. Genghis Khan, what an interesting character. Genghis owns the King Arthur IP. Genghis pulled a sword from a stone, broke it, and got a replacement from the Lady of the Lake. Yeah, something like that. I don't remember all the specific points. You'd have to look up a more thorough breakdown, but there is some compelling points there. I'm literally Merlin's dad, according to 23andMe. Yeah, it's interesting too. So you know, we normally have this. We have this like picture of Genghis Khan in our mind as this like Asian looking fellow, but there's no actual portraits of Genghis Khan, but there are descriptions of him being tall, strong, muscular, with a flowing mane of hair and a long bushy beard. And some historical sources suggest he may have had red hair and green eyes, but these claims are debated and not universally accepted. So there's something to it there, that's for sure. It's interesting. That changes the whole perspective on this character if he were to have red hair and green eyes. The bushy beard is already a game changer for me. Hey, Malky Rojas. D. Malky Rojas. Hello. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Photorealistic. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's what most people think, but there's nothing to back that up whatsoever. It's an interesting rabbit hole to go down, that's for sure. Genghis Khan rabbit hole. It's me. I am Genghis Khan. I have time traveled into the future to live out my dream as a sculptor. Back in the era from which I came, I had to be a conqueror. To pioneer the new world so polymer clay could be invented. So I could time travel into the future and fulfill my desire of sculpting with cast clay. This is my truth. Genghis Khan and King Arthur were actually the emperor from 40K. For the emperor. Isn't it debated that if the emperor is even a real character, or is it just like an idea in the mythos of 40K? I think I looked that up one time. Can't remember the answer. Like he's just some like dead body that they're like worshiping. I do like a good Warhammer 40K lore rabbit hole. I'm pretty convinced humanity we're just an early version of the orcs. That if enough of us believe in something, it actually becomes real. That's why all the technology from like the Jetsons is actuality now. I saw this video yesterday that went back to the Jetsons cartoon and showed like flat screen TVs and watches that they would communicate on and stuff like that. It's like, oh, now it's real. It was back in like the when was that made? The 60s? My favorite 40K theory is that the Emperor only exists and is alive because the orcs think he is. I like that too. That's actually funny. That like they're fighting the orcs, but the orcs are the only reason that the god that they worship exists is because they believe he exists. That's funny. I like that idea a lot. We just need flying cars and anti-gravity belts. So that's, you know, it's not fully fulfilled, but it's on the way, I'm sure. Once the reverse engineered alien spacecrafts are available to the public, then that's the missing piece there. I always like the depiction of a flying car world in is it the fifth element? Sixth element? I don't know why I always get the number wrong with that. Leeloo Dallas Multipass movie. I've always wanted to sculpt a diorama of the takeout Asian food vendor, the flying ship, flying Asian ship restaurant. Fortune for you. Oh, bad luck. That's like my favorite character in the whole movie, but he's only there for like 10 seconds at the beginning. 30 seconds. You are fired. Man, what a great movie. It's not if you think about it, it's not easy to like build a whole new story and a whole new plot in such a short amount of time, you know? Like to introduce a whole world. They really nailed it with that. That one you could watch today and it like really holds up even visually. I see a car crash every day here in Orlando, Florida. I believe it. Yeah. I believe it. That depends on where you're at in the world, though. You know, I can definitely say people drive better in Germany than they do in America. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Valerian. Yeah, I remember seeing that movie. It just kind of, it was cool, but it just kind of, nothing really special. I'm telling you, I really believe that part of what makes those older movies more memorable is the practical effects, the use of real practical makeup and props and stuff. Because that's really the difference, if you look at the difference between those two movies. I think when something becomes overly digital, it loses something. Loses something. Oh, hey, popcorn. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, real set, not green screen auditoriums. All right. I also wonder though, like, is it because good quality stuff comes out at such a fast rate nowadays, that we've become jaded almost, like desensitized? Like if we had taken a film like Valerian that just gets breezed over and launched it back in time, that's absolutely not it. Okay, all right. I think there's probably an element to it, but I think it's maybe a combination of kind of everything. Things being overly digital, creativity taking the backseat, and profit taking the lead, the lead decision-making aspect. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just know there is this aspect of humanity where, like, it's like when you discover a meal that you really like and you just want to, it's so good to you and you just want to binge it and have it all the time, so you do. And then once you've binged it and have it all the time, then it becomes like, nah, Then it becomes like, nah, no thank you. So what was once was great is now not great. The meal itself is still great. but our humanity makes it not great. It's much riskier, and also practical effects cost more than digital, and they're less revisable. So if you want to make a big shift or change in like something, like, okay, let's say for example, let's say Neverending Story came out for the first time today. Would it still be as memorable and impactful to people as it was when it came out, back when it actually came out? I feel like it would just be, people would watch it, enjoy it, and then move on, because it's just the nature of today. It wouldn't be this like iconic, super memorable, nostalgic thing. At least I think so. Because back then, movies didn't come out like that all the time, you know? It was huge chunks of time between something like that coming out. Right. It just makes you wonder, so like what do you think the nostalgic thing for the current younger generation will be? What's the thing that they will reminisce about? TikTok trends? Probably. Games, maybe. I could see games. Sometimes I feel like I have that experience with games now. It's like it's just shifted to a different format, you know. Stuff they streamed. I think that's the reality, is the format at which we enjoy stories always changes. You know, books, it was books and plays and stuff like that, and then it became movies. And it's like the movie era is over, now it's games. I wonder what the next storytelling format will be. Probably like literally like becoming part of the story. Some sort of like like a Total Recall experience, where you go on a vacation mentally, but not actually going on the vacation. It was like you go on this like awesome luxurious trip, but you're just sitting in a chair for like 15 minutes, but it feels like you went on this like 10-month trip. Oh, interesting, Kane. Total immersion of a story you design, yeah, right. Interesting, Korvik. So there was actually more movies out in the 90s then. But that kind of makes sense because back then in the 90s, there was nothing competing for our attention as much as movies. Movies had a higher like margin of attention span because nowadays we have YouTube and Twitch streams and games and all this other stuff. So watching old movies, and shows. Remember, shows didn't really used to be much of a thing. It was like, not as big of a deal as they are now. The whole show format. I guess that was the next evolution past movies was shows. Like movie quality shows. Like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. Right, yeah, that's true, K Nation. Reality TV around 2000, yeah. Like Viva La Bam, the Viva La Bam era. I remember when that stuff started coming out. What was some of the early reality show stuff? Jackass era. Right, the quality used to, when you would watch a show, it was never the quality of a movie experience. Now it's expected that a show has the same quality as a movie. Definitely. Okay, let's see. That brings up another thought of like what we expect for base quality of things. I always think about like YouTube. Look at the early days of YouTube and what was like viral and popular. It was like literally a family home video quality, from the 90s was acceptable. Now it's like, now you have to have like studio level quality to even pass the like, to even make passable content. You have to have like expensive cameras and equipment. But at the beginning of YouTube, it was like VHS quality was acceptable. It's that arms race. Funniest home videos with Bob Saget. Yeah. They were onto something then, that's the beginning of the shorts, reels and shorts, TikTok stuff. Funny short snippets of random things. Homestuck animated trailer by Pilot. Trailer pilot by... No, I didn't. I don't even know what any of that is. Survivor. Oh, yep. Okay, that was an early one. MTV Cribs. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, Pimp My Ride. That one's funny too when you go back and you find out they like totally like. I saw a YouTuber who does like car fixing, and he found one of the vehicles from Pimp My Ride like in a junkyard and bought it and was like fixing it up and stuff. And it's just funny to go back and realize that they literally just messed these people's cars up, So messed up. Half of the cars wouldn't even drive. Yeah, they had like, they put like 20 like screens in there, and like only half of them worked, and it was such a scam. But I remember watching that show, and it was fun to watch. You remember, did anybody watch Gold Rush Alaska, like in the early days when it first kind of was coming out? I loved that show. At the beginning, I loved it, but then I started to be like, wait a minute, they're not really. It's like they like build you up, like there's gonna be this epic, epic find, and it's like they always left you hanging every season. Like without the epic payoff, it's like the struggle continued. Nothing ever changed. So I think probably by like I don't even know how many seasons in before I was like, all right, I'm done with this. They're stringing me along here. Over dramatizing things that weren't even that dramatic, and it was more epic once they started covering Tony. Isn't what's that boy's name that was the Schnobel? It was the Schnoblin? No, it wasn't Schnoblin. What was the neighbor's name that took over his grandpa's claim? Parker, yeah. Schnobel. Oh yeah, it was that Parker, yeah. Isn't he's still kind of doing it, right? Isn't he even still even has a show still? I remember that show in Pawn Stars, Antique Roadshow. I think this season I stopped watching Gold Rush was, I think didn't they go to like somewhere really off the beaten path, like Africa or something? It was like somewhere not in Alaska. It was South America. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I think the crazy thing now is that there's a lot of content like that's on like YouTube, and those YouTube channels are just as profitable, if not more profitable, than producing a whole show like on a network. So I think that's what a lot of that stuff's gone that direction. Because if you have like a YouTube channel that's getting tons of views, you're making more than if you would actually produce it and make it available. on a network, which is kind of crazy. Of course, you got to get, in the millions of views. Wow. Tony Beats. Oops. Me and my wife tried watching a show called Sandman. And this is the second time we've tried getting into it. And it's like, we really like it and it's nice, but for some reason we just don't feel compelled to continue. It's like, yeah, nah. Just need to give it more of a chance. Sometimes shows take some time to really get invested. Just have to put that initial investment. That's the hump we're having a hard time getting over with that one. Sandman, yeah. It is a good show. We really enjoyed the first episode, even for the second time. But it's just like it's not one of those shows I'm running back to, Strangely enough. Got in trouble. Uh-oh. Air bubble. My wife hadn't seen the Hunger Games before, so we watched that last night. That was a fairly new movie that came out that's pretty memorable. A well done one, I think. I hadn't seen it in a long time, so it was enjoyable to watch again. I've been seeing that one pop up. That one has to do with vampires, doesn't it? Helps when the books are successful. Well, that's probably what led to them even making a movie to begin with. Probably. A fun dynamic of me and my wife's relationship is that she, grew up in a different country. So it's fun to go and show like things that she just like things that are normal for if you grew up in America, to go back and like rewatch old movies or shows, or a lot of the stuff. There was a lot of similarities between me and her, but with stuff like that, but she only experienced them with like German, like dubbed with German's language. So hearing the original voices and understanding. Okay, let's do. Yeah, she's from Germany. Fast food. I mean, we eat pretty. I mean, we're pretty. We eat very healthy around here. Stay away from that stuff. So, I mean, we had phases in the past. But yeah, we've gotten to a point now in our lives where we don't eat that at all. So. But yeah, the food situation is very different from America to Germany. Germany has way more regulations, and they're very, very proud of their food. So they're like hobbits when it comes to food. Literally. Especially like bread and stuff. Wascht in Brot und wascht. Und Bier. Schmeckt gut. So, So yeah, they don't. If you have like, okay, if you have, let's say you had like a big chain fast food burger in America, and then you had the same thing from the same chain over in Germany, the one in Germany will be actually made with like good ingredients and be a million times better because those companies have to follow the regulations in that country. So if there's one aspect of society that should be highly regulated by like the government, that's definitely food, because I've seen the difference between going to the grocery store here in America and going to the grocery store over there in Germany. It's insane, the difference. It's awesome to go grocery shopping in a German grocery store compared to America. It's amazing how much of the normal grocery store you have to skip over if you're avoiding bad food additives or bad ingredients. Bratz und Sauerkraut. It is. It is. Yeah, we do. You know, I'm pretty passionate about cooking and baking, and so is the missus, and we just make everything at home. We've gotten to the point now where even going out to a restaurant is not something we do, because it's just better at home. And if you enjoy to cook, then there you go. You know, no need to really go out. Every once in a while, though, you know, usually it's with other people when other people want to go out. But we make it all at home. Yesterday we had I made homemade naan breads from scratch, and the missus made a almost like an Indian curry chicken type of mix that would go on the naans, and then she made a tzatziki cold cream sauce with cucumbers, you know, like a real fresh tasting. Combine it all together, man, it's so good. Have you made miniature food sculpts in one of your projects? I have before, yeah. Yeah. I've done that before. Done like a pizza, pancakes. I think I've done like onions and garlic and stuff like that before too. Only food we order out is Thai. There is this is it Thai? Yeah, I think it is a Thai food restaurant that does really nice it's like a spicy soup. Was it called a cow Thai? Is it cow Thai? Cow something. Is really good. Mm-hmm. but it can be quite pricey, so we definitely don't do that often. I think at this point we've made it at home more than we've ordered it. Special occasion kind of thing. I like getting fresh rolls too with my order of soup. Yeah, they are miniature food sculpting for sure. I've done like roasted meat and stuff. I've done a lot of miniature food, usually not as like the main piece, but like accessories for like the background of a character. But yeah, there is definitely a big miniature food sculpting scene. Especially when you start using like colored clays, you know. Yeah, what's that streamer's name? I think we've been raided by her quite a few times. Starts with the M, right? Oh, no, you're talking about, I know what you're talking about, like real miniature food on like a miniature like setup. Corn relish. What a name. Memorable. Starting to get hungry with all this food talk. I wonder what we're doing for food today. Okay, so all right, let's texture. What's that, Deliner? Hey, what's up, Vorse? Okay, let's give it some scratches. A few dings. Yes, I can show you. They're really subtle, but let's see here. Make a huge difference once you've painted. Let's see. Can you see them? Probably see them. Oh, like right there. Right, it's the nature of the tool. Because of the wispy like wire here. Let me see. Spare a coin for an old beggar. Even if I push hard, it doesn't leave a, deep line. Hey, Kodat, thank you. Thank you very much. Right, you want those lines to be straight, because if you look at metal that has wear and tear, it has all these like really small, straight like scratchy lines all over it. Really, really fine though, you know, and that's the effect we're trying to go for. It's like every event where something grazed against it or hit it, but wasn't like enough to like do deep damage, you know? Those really pop out when you do the painting. It's those little touches that make a huge difference. Yeah, no problem. And this tool, you can do it with like a tool like this, you know, and just very like hold the back of the tool and just let the weight of the tool kind of drag on the surface so you're not making deeper lines. But a tool like this makes it so like even if you do it very firmly, the bending of the wire stops it from making any deep lines, you know. So when the tool has some give, you don't have to have as light of a touch, you know. That's why those silicone tip tools work in the same idea, that the tip has a bend to it, meaning you can do softer things easier because you don't have to hold them as light, you know. So that's why you could easily make a tool like this just using some memory wire, you know, and a dowel rod or something. Now, memory wire is different than regular wire because when you bend it, it goes back to its original state. But you can get some of that stuff because, you know, usually the wire that we have is the... Oh, hey. We're getting a raid. A raid over on Kick, huh? Let me see who that was.
The strength of the cnotbusch kingdom lies not in our walls, but in our people. March to war.
Anador. Hey, thanks for the raid. There we go. Welcome, Raiders. Come on in. How was your stream? Okay. Yeah, so this is memory wire here, so you can it wants to go back to its original. I was offline for a second. Oh, oops. Oh, that's weird. Fenrir, I guess. See how it springs back. So this stuff's, you can get it to bend, you just gotta really, you know, kind of force it. Yeah, make some nice long straight ones here. And then you can make that same tool pretty easily. Hey, thank you. I'm doing good. Yeah, thanks for sending your people my way. That's interesting. So I think I opened the dashboard on Kick, and that caused the stream to fluctuate there. It's weird. Hey, what's up, Jesse? Welcome. We're working on a robot sculpture here. This is what we're working on today. Specifically on this backpack part, we just got the bottom part done. I think that might be all we need to actually do for the homework. So in our next weekend on Sunday, we can do the tanks that go on the sides here. And then the chimney Once we have the chimney, we can complete this top part here. All right, thanks. Let me just do a little bit of sketching here. I'm still wondering if we should still do that kind of front fender. And maybe I do like that to be open though. Definitely a different look. Oops. Okay. Does he load his own fuel? Yeah, right in the belly. There was a handle there, but I have to re-add it. Almost like a furnace, you know, open it, add to combustible material, and there you go. Not too sure about that. Just doing some exploratory sketching right now.
I kind of do like that, the way this looks here. Kind of shielded in a little bit more. Maybe not so high though, maybe like almost gives it that backpack strap kind of a look. Maybe like a little bit of all right. Gives us something to think about. Oop. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to finish the homework for today. We got the parts I wanted to get done finished so we can do the next step next week. Of course, there's still other homework I have to do, but we'll just have to start putting in extra hours on Sunday, I think, to catch things up. It's just too hard to get it in during the week now. Anyways, hey, thank you all very much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. Let's see here. All right, yeah, let's get a raid going. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, we totally got knocked offline, huh? It says I've only been live for 13 minutes. It's weird it doesn't show that on my my OBS. Yeah, have a good rest of your weekend, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I will be back tomorrow morning. We'll be working on our anime character. It's getting good with her. I think we're really starting to progress the piece quite nicely. So jump into the week of work. Oh, hey, Drexel Art. He does those wooden. He's doing those paintings on those wooden discs. Really cool style. He's a really nice guy too. Let's go raid him. Yes, indeed. All right, my friends. Till next time. Bye-bye.